Hello, Internet. I'm Corion, your witch in residence here on YouTube. And today I want to talk about the 28 Days series in general because 28 years later is coming out. We've finally got some information for the plot, and I want to go through it with you all and talk about the themes that run through all three of the movies. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to say I want to thank everybody who has stayed with me over the last little bit. I know it's been a bit of a challenge, but I appreciate you guys. I want to thank my longtime subscribers and anyone who is now considering joining the channel. Really means a lot to me. If you can drop a like and a comment on this video, it also really helps the channel. Thank you so much, and here we go. 28 days, 28 weeks, and now 28 years. Danny Boyle's apocalyptic vision has haunted our screens for over 2 decades. But beneath the blood and the chaos lies something deeper. It's a story about us, about society, survival, and the fragile thread that holds humanity together. Now, in just 28 days, the world ends. Not with a bang, but with silence. No police, no politicians, just echoes. The trilogy is a stark reminder of how quickly our systems collapse. In 28 weeks later, tried to rebuild and failed. 28 years later shows a world that never recovered. The rage virus doesn't just turn you undead, it strips you to your core. No hunger, no decay, just anger. A mirror to our own worst instincts. And often the real monsters aren't infected at all. They wear uniforms, speak softly, and kill with reason. Would you kill an affected child? Leave a friend behind? Trust a stranger? These films force those questions and rarely offer clean answers. Survival means compromise, and sometimes the price is your soul. In a world gone mad, who can you trust? The series thrives on this tension. Trust is hope. Isolation is death. Jim trusts Selena. Tammy trusts her brother. In 28 years later, a son trusts his dying mother. These bonds may be all that stands against oblivion. The military isn't the solution. It's often the problem in these movies. Quarantine zones become prisons. Governments make clinical choices, not moral ones. The film shows us how order becomes oppression and how protection becomes power. What happens to children raised by the apocalypse? 28 years later gives us that answer. They don't dream of school or careers, they dream of safety, of medicine, of not losing what little they have left. They inherit our nightmares and try to build something better. Humans adapt, but so does the virus. The infected aren't shambling corpses, they evolve, they learn, and humans do too, for better or worse. In 28 years later, we see both. Adaptation isn't just survival, it's mutation of mind, morality, of society, even. And yet, there's always light. A girl clutching her camera, a boy carrying his mother, a voice whispering hello in the dark. The trilogy doesn't just show us collapse, it shows us persist, continue to be kind, and the refusal to give up. Without 28 days later, we wouldn't have half the zombie stories we see today. Boyle didn't just reimagine the genre, he gave it rage, relevance, and raw humanity. And now, with 28 years later, the story enters a new chapter, a mirror held up once again to our fears and our fire. In the end, the virus is only part of the story. The real infection is clear, and the cure might just be empathy. 28 Days Later's trilogy isn't just about zombies, it's about people. Broken, brave, and still burning bright. After 28 years, the rage still lingers, but so does hope. if this resonated with you guys at all, I'm more than willing to do deep dives into trilogies like this. For me, 28 Days Later was one of my absolute favorite zombie movies of all time because it felt like it didn't just put zombies on display and watch as we dealt with them. It did something deeper, a lot deeper. It touched on the core of what made the concept of an opponent that can't be reasoned with and can't really be stopped so terrifying. Because the truth is, humanity is persistence predators. We tended to run down our prey, to make them, surrender to us because they couldn't run, it couldn't out stamina us anymore. And as we evolved and we got better, we learned better tools for doing it. But the idea of our own techniques, our own persistence being turned on us is frankly rather terrifying. And that's what makes these movies so great. This has jump scares, it has a lot of gory body horror in them. But at their core, they also touch on the third type of fear, which is my favorite, and that is the fear of the uncanny. The thinking man's terror, if you will. The idea of sitting down and finding the apocalypse has absolutely come to your door and is knocking, and there is nothing, anything that you or previous humanity has been able to do to stop it. And that's really what I think makes these movies great. So consider, guys, taking a look when 28 Years Later comes out in June. I intend to. This is going to be one of those movies that I'm going to go to, that I'm going to go see in the theater, and probably drive home with the lights on the car up to full blast. So please consider joining me on this one. I think it's really going to be good. I hope you do too. Thank you so much, guys. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.